What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my Twisted Life and TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of Ready to Love, Season 5, Episode 6, Second Shot at Love. However, I don't consider this to be anybody's second shot that I can remember. So, first of all, this is not going to be a recap. It's not going to be a recap because I don't remember the episode in detail. I didn't take notes like I would normally do. So what I'm going to do is just talk about things that I can remember that stood out to me the most. First and foremost, I've said in the beginning, the women this season seems to be thinking more sensible when it comes to the elimination of these guys. Their reasoning makes sense. The men, I've said from the beginning that their elimination choices have been all wrong. They have been all wrong. This week again, I think they've done it again. They did it wrong again. I'm starting to think that this whole Cornelius Kamil situation is staged. The entire thing is staged, in my opinion. Because remember, I kept saying, why every time we see a double date, Kamil and Cornelius are tag-alongs? That didn't make sense to me. I still stick by what I said in the original casting special, that Cornelius is struggling with his sexual identity. And this particular episode made me believe that even more. True Courtney is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to her sexuality or her sexual assertiveness. But a lot of the ladies on the show are very sexually assertive as well. And what I think when it comes to Cornelius and Courtney is that Courtney challenges his sexuality in a way that makes him feel uncomfortable. Not specifically dealing with the Lord, which is what he's trying to use as the cover story, or why he wants to wait, why he doesn't want to be really sexually active with these women. I think it really has to do with how he is personally handling his own sexuality. I said before, I think he's maybe bisexual. He may lean a little bit more to the fellas, which is why he doesn't want to pursue a sexual relationship with a woman fast. This is my opinion. This is all from what I picked up from the casting special and from his body language throughout. I think one of you guys has said that he was such a gentleman, or he's a better man than whatever because of how he dealt with Kamil. I think that was a weak move on his behalf to deal with Kamil the way he did. This woman has insulted you. She's been verbally and emotionally abusive to you. And you sat there like, damn, really? Okay, for real? Now, she did come back later and offer an apology. I do not think her apology was sincere. She came on the Instagram, gave an apology there, and said, because I embarrassed him publicly, I'm going to apologize publicly as well. So she put it up on the Ready to Love. That's all for clout. That's all for clout. That's all for show. Cornelius came back today saying, yeah, I can't believe the people turn her down. You know, when you find love, you find love. Now, you know that they're not even supposed to tell whether or not they're together or whether they are connected while the show is still being airing. So for him to say on that Instagram post that they found love and he's accepted her apology, first of all, if it's true, bruh, you are a victim of abuse and you are behaving in the manner in which a victim would do. She's behaving in the manner in which an abuser would do. An abuser will beat the shit out of you physically, mentally, emotionally, and then they would come back and apologize. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I was outside of myself. And then they'll do it again, time and time again, in different way. She's very dismissive to the other people on the cast. She's rude as fuck to other people on the cast. I cannot believe that y'all have allowed this woman to stay on this show. Men, I'm talking to the men of the cast. That's why y'all motherfuckers single now. Because y'all accept that bullshit that which Kamil is. And if she's putting on a front, then she's a fucking fraud. So either she's really real, this is really who she is, and y'all accept this behavior and nobody checks it, Dante seemed like he was trying to check it in the whole date situation he had with her at the end, but then turned around and said that you staying. And then her initial response, well, I was gonna tell you fuck you then. And he found that funny, he found that comical, he wanted to laugh it off. No. Red flags been waving up in this bitch with that motherfucker. Red waves, red flags, the red flags on the ships, they waving, they rolling on the Red Sea. That bitch is red all over. Call that motherfucker Clifford the big red dog. That's who Camille is. She's a red flag walking. And I cannot believe that these men, half of them who said they didn't even like her ass, who wouldn't even rock with her, how did she go before Courtney? Make it make sense. There was one thing that Courtney said that stood out to me. Courtney said that once Corey got eliminated, the other men backed off from her. That tells me that was a payback move. Because what that said to the men was, she telling our business to other women. We don't need that around her. You know, Corey was trying to tell Courtney, worry about just us. Remember, he told me the same thing. Just worry about us. Just worry about us. But Courtney took the advice or took the words or took the information that the other women gave her, and she made an executive decision. And since Courtney was the one who let Corey go, the men were paying her ass back by kicking her off. I don't see there's any reason that Courtney should have left. Sexual aggressiveness? Wasn't Sabrina just sitting at the pool opening her legs wide up for Walter's face? Haven't Aisha and Frank been sexually forward with one another? Am I missing something? Because she said that she's sexually free, she likes to have sex, that is a pillar of her relationship status, that now she's too such a turnoff. And that's why y'all men decided to let her go. She's more like a homie. I could understand Walter because when they went out on that first date with them, and her and Camille both gravitated to Cornelius, and I said he didn't even seem like he was on that date with them. Remember I said that? So I could understand Cornelius' position. However, I thought that Cornelius and Courtney was there dating one another, and Camille was supposed to be Walter's date in that situation. Remember, Camille invited Courtney and Cornelius together to see how they were going to play off of each other, to see how they were going to interact. So at that particular time, Camille was supposed to be Walter's date. But Walter felt that since Courtney was into Cornelius, that he friend zoned her. Now, one of the things that also gets me about this particular show, I actually kind of like this season. A lot of people say they still don't like this season. I'm not too fond of the people, but I do like the season because a lot of people are more open for conversation. They're speaking on things that are on a much deeper level, a much needed level, as if they were trying to pursue long-lasting relationships and not just have a fling. I'm still leery about Dante. I don't believe Dante wants a relationship at all, okay? But I do like the conversations that we had. I liked this particular episode because all the questions that I've been asking, a lot of them got addressed with some of these dates this particular episode. I'm still liking Aisha more and more and more. The more she opens up, the more she's more vulnerable. I like her more and more. Sabrina, I still can't get past her face. Fuck. But I still like Sabrina's open conversation. So let me go ahead and get into it. I guess let's see what I can remember. This week, Tommy said that he wants the men, to date somebody who they normally would not have dated, or who was not high up on their list, or who was not their number one. That's what he wanted them to do. Give them a second chance to love. That's where the title comes from. Okay, so I'm gonna be out of order. I already know. Sean decided to go out with Tasia. I actually liked Sean and Tasia together. Sean had 2 dates, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he did. He had a date with Sabrina. We finally got a fucking date with Sabrina. Who else we haven't seen a real date with? We've seen a double date with Shiloh, but we haven't seen a real date with Shiloh yet. She doesn't get a lot of film time either unless it's with the mixer. Okay, so let me start off first with Sean and Sabrina's date. They really vibe with each other. They're in the same age group. But like I say, Sean still believes that he wants to have children, and Sabrina is like a no. It's not going to happen. She said that they were having a good time. They were really connected. She laughed so much. She don't even know what she was laughing at. But the fact that she laughed the entire time made her feel like, yes, we're having a good experience with one another. Until he brought up, the kids. I like the fact that Sean is getting right to the punch. He's getting right to the punch. Like, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. Sabrina took offense to that. She thought that was a red flag. That's not a red flag, honey. I do not believe that a man saying in the beginning, I want children, I need to know if you do, because this could be a complete waste of our time. If somewhere down the road we hook up and then at 3 months later I say, you know what, I still want them kids, and you saying I don't want them kids, and then a year later down the road I'm still looking for them kids, and you still saying I don't want them kids. This is something that should be brought up first, especially in a speed dating situation like this. But Sabrina said she thought that was a red flag that he brought it up. I didn't. I really sincerely appreciated him bringing it up again. The one thing I didn't like about it, and this is just from a personal experience because my brother went through this. My brother ended up committing suicide that was related to this situation. Got with an older woman. In his case, a woman that was older than him. Already had her kids. Her youngest was 17 at the time. He wanted children. He never had children with her, and he felt like he was going to set aside his wants and beliefs just to be with her, and their relationship was so tumultuous. You know what I'm saying? His wife's daughter had kids, so he felt like he was a pawpaw or grandpa, whatever, but he still wanted children of his own. I feel like that will be the same issue with Walter. But Walter, one thing I do want you to understand, you are put into a dating show with a lot of women who are already over the age of 35. I think Sabrina's 42, if I'm not mistaken. I know I see it in my age, I'm 48, that if I had a chance to still have a baby, I would. That's me. I'm a rare breed. Me, Janet Jackson, Halle Berry, I was finna say Angela Bassett. She had, she got the twins, but she didn't actually have the baby. She had a surrogate. Anywho, but she was still in our age group wanting to have little babies and newborns running around the house, right? It's very few women who are in that age group, and medically speaking, women over the age of 35 are very high risk. So it's shocking to me that it shocks you that Sabrina wouldn't want more kids. She older than Aisha. Aisha didn't even want kids. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. So it shocks me that it shocks you. You need somebody younger. And that's why I kind of like you with Tasia. This is the first time that we were allowed to see Tasia have conversation that wasn't about her specifically in her work life, her professional life. Sean seemed to let down some walls with her. She even seemed likable in this particular episode. I didn't want to kick off this particular episode. That's how much Sean brought out of her that made her seem more interesting to me as a viewer. He's an old-fashioned kind of guy. She seemingly is an old-fashioned kind of guy, girl. She wants a guy to chase her. She needs somebody older. She needs a guiding light is the way that I'm going to say it. She's done a lot for herself. She's put it out there. She's made her own business. She's been quite successful. She is her own trophy at this particular time. That's why she wants to be somebody's trophy wife. She about her business, as you heard in the Ponderosa that the men had at the end, which was very shocking that a lot of men was like, oh yeah, she about that stuff. She did. They were all saying positive things about Tasia. Now that Sean's saying he's interested in her. But at first, y'all didn't like Tasia. Tasia was like one of the ones on the bottom of the totem pole from here on out. But now all of a sudden, yeah, Tasia, that girl, she that girl. Y'all fake as fuck. That's why y'all goddamn men are single now. That's why y'all bitches single now. But Tasia needs somebody who's going to lead in the relationship, which I gathered that's the type of presence that she picked up from Sean. When she was with any other guy, with the exception of maybe Frank, it seemed like they allowed Tasia to take over the conversation at one point. Yeah, Frank too. To take over the conversation at one point. So when that happens, Tasia starts to talk about what she feels is her best attributes: her profession, her ability to get shit done, her ability to be a boss bitch is what they would like to call themselves. But with Walter, he guided that conversation. He pulled out of her what he wanted to know, which a lot of the guys that we've seen, we haven't seen that happen. So I like Walter for Tasia. I mean, not Walter. I keep calling him Walter. Sean. He looks like a Walter. Walter's an old ass fucking name. Walter's the same age as Sean. I like Sean for Tasia. Okay, speaking of Walter, did we see Walter go on a date with somebody? Walter went on a date with Zadia. They went to go get their toes done. Zadia is kind of self-centered as well. I thought she was going to be one of my favorite people. She seems to be one of the guys' favorite people. All the guys seem to like Zadia. They call her, but Naeem call her Zadie the Body. She seems like a very fun, loving person. Like a person. Her live streams on Instagram are boring as fuck to me. But okay. Okay, girl. But Walter seems more intrigued by Zadia. What I liked about their conversation, you know, she seems to be very about me. I think I said that before. And Walter humbles her. He throws quick shots. He Joan on her. I don't know what the other terminology y'all use in other parts of the world, but in St. Louis we call it joning. You know, California we call it throwing shots. We talk about you in a playful manner, and that humbles her a tad bit. I like that, but Walter, she needs praise. She wants praise. You better praise her, and Walter won't do that. He won't bend down to her. I mean, he still give her some type of praise, but not what she wants exactly. And I think she finds that appealing. But I keep telling y'all, Naeem is her dude. Naeem is her man. Do Walter go out with anybody else? Not that I know of. We finally get to see Phil with Aisha. Okay, Phil is cute. Now, y'all know I said a lot of people were ugly, and Phil's picture didn't do no justice. But after seeing it from the beginning, when they show Phil on screen, I'm like, something about Phil. He's kind of cutie. I like Phil's whole presence. I do. Like I say, but he was the one person I couldn't find shit on when I was researching for my casting special. I like Phil's whole presence. Phil and Aisha, I don't see it. I don't see it. They seem to vibe. They seem to connect. And remember when she had her car accident? She calls it a debacle now, so maybe it really wasn't an accident. Maybe she was drinking and hit something. Ain't no telling. But she calls it a debacle now instead of an accident. She said he was calling. He was concerned. Last we had checked, Mumin said the Phil was on her way to her. But that ain't what the way Aisha made it seem. It just made it seem like he called and checked on her. And however, you know, she's like, I already know that he's attracted to me. Everybody's attracted. Aisha got a body. Aisha's body is banging. And like I said, when she takes off them damn wigs, off them units, if you go on her Instagram page, she got a few pictures of her natural hair. She's fucking gorgeous. Her hair is that, you know, she got a really short crop fro. And she's fucking stunning. Those wigs don't do her no justice, baby. They're not at all. Poor girl. Anywho, she seems to really open up to Phil more than she expected to. And so he asked her about the question about kids too, because he wants children. He wants to have a family. And so she finally breaks down and said, okay, when I say that to people, it's a defense mechanism. So when she was saying it to Sean, I guess she wanted to see how he was going to respond. So not really conscious of what she's looking for. She knows what she's saying as a defense mechanism, as a blocking, because she don't want to have the conversation. But I think she probably would have preferred if Sean had prodded a little bit more, the same way that Phil just did. He like, okay, so what's that all about? Okay, so come to find out, with her two children, the ones she just loved dearly, she almost lost both of them, and then she did lose another child. So she feels like she will be a failure as a woman if she cannot produce a baby for a man who wants one. So she just tells them off the top, she ain't having no kids. Because she thinks that, that's part of her wifely duties is to give him children, birth him babies, you know what I'm saying? And she doesn't want to feel like she can't provide that to a man by saying, yes, I do want children, or I will have a baby for you, and then it don't happen, or she doesn't carry babies well. And as she broke down, he came to her side, he comforted her, Phil is that dude, he is providing, what she say, he's a safe place. And I don't know, I picked that up from the beginning, that he was sort of a safe place. I think that Aisha's attraction to him is going to grow more and more and more. He seems to be a very confident guy, and I think that's what she's attracted to most is the confidence, which is why she was attracted to Frank as well. But Phil seems to have that caring nature that we haven't seen on screen with Frank. Not in that manner. Frank, who did he go on a date with? Frank went on a date with somebody. OMG. Who we got left? He went on a date with Mumin. There was a double date. Dante, Mumin, Frank, and Sabrina. Another date with Sabrina. Okay? So Frank and Mumin got together and they talked. They had a conversation. Frank is very... he says that he doesn't like being interviewed to see. I remember him saying that. But Frank interviews when he speaks to you. He just does it in a sexy voice tone, like it's a radio interview. But the same with Mumin and Walter, how they were able to open up and be a little bit vulnerable. I like that about Frank and Mumin as well. I still don't see them as an item, but Frank does. Frank felt that her connection to her spirituality is refreshing. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I was saying about Mumin, about Cornelius, and how I was saying that Courtney challenges his sexuality in a way that's not comfortable for him. And I don't believe it has anything to do with religion. I believe it has to do with his sexuality. And this is one of the reasons why. Mumin also uses her religion to help her stand on the shoulders of why she doesn't want to have sex before marriage. She's had sex before. She's not a virgin. Okay? However, when she comes up against a person like Frank, who is very sexually forward, what he says, I forgot the words that he used. But it's similar to Courtney in this manner. Mumin stands in her shit. She knows what she wants in life. And just because he's sexually forward doesn't change who she is as a person, doesn't intimidate her as a person. She knows what she wants, period. And her religion helps her stand in that truth. Cornelius, on the other hand, he allows somebody who's sexually forward to scare him, to shake him. Like he's not really sure that not having sex is what he really wants to do. Camille goes on a date with Naeem. Goes on a date with Naeem. She starts talking about finances, how much she make right off the bat. Naeem picked up off the top that she's not very communicative. She doesn't have good communication skills. She kisses her teeth a lot. She rolls her eyes. She twists her face. She rolls her neck. She seems very disinterested in what you got to say because she don't want to be there with you anyway. Okay? When she got with Dante at the end, she was very rude and dismissive with him as well. And she said that she didn't even think that it was an elimination date. She said, I don't want to come here to this date in the first place. So, no, I ain't giving you no time. And she was so fucking rude and disrespectful to the man. Even if you friend zoned him, this is how you fucking treat your friend. I can't stand her. Oh, I can't stand her. And those of you who are capping for her ass, is that the right word? Those of you who are riding for her ass, I say this in genuine genuine concern, seek therapy. If you feel in any way that Camille's behavior is cute, that Camille's behavior is acceptable, that it's just a TV show, you yourself need therapy. Get mad at me all the fuck you want, I don't care. You need fucking therapy. If you find that behavior acceptable in the least bit, if you find that cute in the least bit, even for TV, for likes, okay, for follows, something needs to be addressed with a medical professional, because that's what that woman needs. She needs a serious medical professional to sit her ass down, talk to her, and possibly medicate her. And if anybody riding for her and supporting that bullshit without checking her, calling her to the carpet, somebody needs to talk to you too. I said it. Okay, Naeem was over the date. He was over it. Like, cheers. But when he said that line, like, maybe we have to do this again, don't lie to her like that. And then she's like, maybe we should. I can't stand fake, phony ass people. I can't stand it. Who else we talking about? Courtney goes with Cornelius. Courtney feels that she's a boss bitch. She thinks that because she's a boss, she goes after what she wants, she gets what she wants. Her and Zadia have the same mentality. But Cornelius is who she wants. And she already told him that she's going to be forward with him sexually. He already approved that she could rub on his leg and his thigh, so that's what she's doing. But he feels very uncomfortable with that situation. And I still say that he's scared as shit of Camille. He was deboed. He was punked into a relationship with that woman. He was punked into not communicating with Courtney. Courtney was number one. She was on top. And now all of a sudden she's rock bottom. She's kicking rock bottom because she said she's going to go after what she wants. So he feels that she's going to be he's going to be a sheep and she's going to lead him to slaughter in the way it's a lust. That's what he feels. Like he don't know how to control his own urges. Like his faith ain't strong enough for him to stand in his truth the same way Mumin is standing in hers. Same way Liz stood in hers last season. That's because you're not being honest with yourself, Cornelius. That's what that means. It means you're not being honest with yourself. Okay? Maybe you don't see it, but I see it, sir. I see it. Legacy. I see it. Okay. From that day, Courtney felt that, she was selling good with Cornelius. Where Courtney set herself short was that, like I said, we haven't seen her on screen with any other guy. We haven't seen her on screen. But doing the Ponderosas, the men have already lifted Courtney up. Always. Now all of a sudden they don't. All of them at the same time. Like she said, when Corey left, all of them backed off. She should have known she was gone in. But I don't think that Courtney should have left. If she had to leave, Courtney and Camille should have been out the door. Should have been a double elimination anyway. Because now we got more women than men. Ain't that what we do every year though? Every season we got more women than men. Every freaking season after the double elimination. I should be used to it by now. So Courtney, Cornelius. Let me go through the men. Phil, Sean, Walter, Naeem, Dante and Sabrina. They seem to click. They seem to vibe. He's shocked. I'm shocked too. They find Sabrina to be regal in the way that she carries herself. I think it's because she's tall. I'm just going to say it right there. I think it's just because she's tall, but she has a confidence about her that I love. Which, like I said, is the same thing that I see in Aisha. It was just probably why they love Aisha like that too. Dante said he really feeling her and he wants to get to know her more. But most importantly, he still feels shallow. We didn't get to see shallow with anybody. that I recall. Shiloh is still crying over what's that boy name? The red flag. I can't even remember his name. Eyes. I can't remember his name now. It wasn't important. What the fuck is his name? Y'all put his name in the comment section. She's still stressing about that, so that's why Shiloh, you see her on many dates with people like that anyway. But yeah, so who they not feeling? Half of the men said they was not feeling Kamil. Naeem was put off by her. Walter put off by her. Pretty much everybody was put off by her but Cornelius. Then Courtney, you know, she just the homie at this particular time, which is surprising considering that Tasia had not rose up in anybody's rank but Sean, and he's a newbie. But yeah, feels like Shiloh still the most, and Aisha, Dante like Shiloh. We already knew that, and Zadia. Naeem is on Zadia. Frank is into Mumin. I think Walter was into Mumin. I know Sabrina, but Walter says Zadia is rising up there. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Phil, Walter, Sean, Naeem, Dante, Cornelius. Cornelius is feeling Kamil. Okay, so basically, Courtney and Kamil is in the bottom. They go to have these dinners. Dante sits down with Kamil. Courtney sits down with... God, who she sit down with? Walter? With Walter. Courtney was very impressed that it was Walter. She wanted to get to know him. They really hadn't got a chance. From what she say, Walter brought up the first date and how he felt dismissed and felt like he was a third wheel, and like, you know, you get points for participation or whatever. He said, I wasn't even part of that date. Like, I'm not here for participation points. I'm here to like meet people and get to know people. You basically friend zoned me at that point, so no, we didn't get to move any further. And a lot of the men feel like, you know, she's not open or receptive to dating them, as if Kamil is. Kamil shut all of y'all down. Kamil told Dante, because he said, you going on dates with 10 different men. She's like, I ain't dating 10 different men. I ain't interested in them. I'm not going to give him my time. You know, she was real funky. I just can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand the way she talked to him. I can't stand the way she reacted. All that neck rolling and teeth sucking and huffing and puffing, you know, while they're trying to have an actual date. Before she realized it was elimination, then after the elimination, then she got quiet, focused, until he said she wasn't going nowhere. And then she's like, I was gonna say fuck you then. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get all dramatic and shit. I find nothing cute about her. Nothing. Her attitude is so ugly, it takes away from her beauty. Point blank. Again, I think the men got it wrong. I don't think Courtney should have left. But if she had to, it should have been a double elimination. Kamil should not still be on this show. She should not still be on the show. She is, what I say, an abusive, psychotic, maybe neurotic, manipulative, rude, and dismissive ass woman. And I can't believe that y'all still keeping her ass on this show. I guess it's for the ratings, Tommy. Y'all don't really want people that's gonna be in love. Not for real. We talked about this on the community board. Hopefully my time don't run out. I really don't see anybody making real connections here. And it's odd because a lot of the people have their counterpart here on the show. Based off of what they said they wanted, they have a person that fills those checks. But that's not the person that they attract to. They don't even want to give their person the time of the day. You know, it's interesting to me. Yeah, it's very interesting to me. And it's funny that Phil says that Shiloh pours out the vulnerability in him, which is the same thing that he's doing for Aisha. I find that kind of interesting. They gonna clash. Shiloh and Aisha gonna clash. And it's gonna be about Phil. That's what I'm feeling. I'm sensing it. Y'all let me know what y'all thought. Leave your comments down in the comment section. Get therapy if you need it. And I'm serious about that shit. Talk to you again. Peace.